This is the Fan Finance Show. Who has the cheapest tickets in the Premier League? This is the Fan Finance Show with Rick Kelsey from talkSPORT, where we try to get fans a fair deal. And today, we are talking about how to get cheap tickets to the Premier League. One number to kick things off, 83. £83 is the average price for a ticket to go and watch a Premier League match in the 2024/25 season. I know, crazy amounts of money. If you zoom back to when the Premier League started out, the average price for a ticket back in 1992, £13.50. I know, you couldn't even get a burger and a drink at most grounds for that now. It's pretty amazing. So today we're going to dial into some facts and try to save you some money on how you can get cheaper tickets to Premier League games. Yes, we've been living in a cost of living crisis and things have been going up all around the world over the last couple of years, but Premier League football tickets have been going up more in the last year than the cost of living. 6.7% is what most ticket prices went up by at the beginning of this Premier League season. There are still some deals about. For example, you can go to Southampton, the cheapest club in the Premier League, for £25. You can get a ticket to Wolves for £26.50. But if you look at what's happened year on year, only one of the Premier League clubs that stayed up this season did not raise their prices. And let's be frank, we're seeing it everywhere. Fans are kicking off. Would you ever have thought that Liverpool and Manchester United fans would have a joint demonstration on prices? Why? Because United decided to pop their prices up mid-season. £66. Yeah, that's below the average. But what have they done this year? Well, they've got rid of concessions. So that means going with your son or your daughter, you no longer get the £40 or £25 tickets. £66 is the base price. But obviously, that's United. And places like Liverpool, it's really hard to get tickets. But there are deals about. Let's get into some of them. So the number one way to get cheap tickets to a Premier League game is go to an away match. Yes, this may seem a contradiction of terms, but the Premier League since 2016 have had a fan for £30 scheme, where all clubs, no matter whether you're Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Bournemouth, all charge away fans £30 to go to the ground. However, it's not easy to get those tickets, is it? Most of the time, not only do you need to have a home season ticket, but you'll also have to have stubs from FA Cup or maybe League Cup matches as well. But if you can get one of these tickets, they truly are golden. Let's talk about cup matches then. I've just done a search for the next round of the FA Cup. My gosh, was I amazed. You can get tickets to see the top 5 current teams in the Premier League for under £40 in the first round of the FA Cup. £40? I know, it's quite amazing. That's because when the big teams are playing the lower league teams, they want to make sure they fill the stadium. Doesn't always happen, but the tickets are much cheaper. So if you don't normally get to go to football and you're thinking you can't afford that averaged 83 quid for a ticket, think about going to the League Cup games and also the FA Cup games, because the tickets are much, much cheaper. Right, let's talk about resale sites, because they do my head in. You can have a face value ticket for £60 and that could go for 160 quid. People are making a fortune out of this and it does my head in. But there is a hack. Here's what you can do. Have a look at the lower league clubs and you might be able to get in for a little bit cheaper. And also, wait until right before the game. If you know that you're in an area and people just want to get rid of a ticket and it's still not sold, they will take anything for that ticket. I'm talking less than face value. I've just done a search for a game in London coming up tonight. With a couple of hours to go, that same ticket was 180 quid. It's already dropped down to 90. Be patient. If you can wait it out, the deals are there. Okay, let's get into the key factors which is going to get you cheap tickets to a Premier League game. First up, the teams involved. Not many people know this, but the Premier League's actually split up into Category A, B and C games. And you guessed it, the Category A ones tend to be a little bit more punchy when it comes to price. If you go for a Category C game, for example, Forest versus Brentford, you're much more likely to be able to get a cheaper ticket. Secondly, where do you want to sit? Does it matter to you that you're sitting right behind the goal? Your proximity to the pitch is basically adding pounds onto your ticket. The further you go towards the back of the stadium, the cheaper it'll get. Also, the time of year. Now, people move about at Christmas time and Easter time. People who generally go to the game every week often can't go. It means that the market gets flooded with tickets. When I look back at Christmas time last year, I could find a Category C game with actually pretty decent seats for £20. Yeah, £20 in the Premier League. That's to a home game. Unbelievable. Some clubs you can actually just do a bit of an old school job and rock up and get some tickets. So I went down to Fulham a couple of weeks ago, and you can actually go to the ticket booths, which are open every day of the week, and often there are tickets available for the game. Now, if they're playing Man United or they're playing Chelsea and Arsenal, these things won't come up. But it's one of few places in the Premier League where you can actually go down to the ticket booth and grab yourself a ticket for around the £40 mark. Another thing to think about is kickoff time. If you want to go and watch your team play at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, it's going to be expensive. But if you go for the more kind of odd-timed games, say 8 p.m. on a Monday night, or a late kickoff on a Friday or Sunday, these tend to be the times where the tickets are a little bit cheaper. By the way, let me know your hacks. Have you got some amazing hacks on how to get cheap tickets to the Premier League? Let us know in the comments below and we will follow them up. So let's break it down a little bit more into the type of game you're going to see. If you're going to see the traditional Big Six, the average price for the minimum price ticket is 47 quid. Get out of the top six, the average price is £36. Now, if you look at those, combined with an odd time of day for a kickoff, you can get a bargain. I got a ticket in January to West Ham versus Fulham for £20. Yep, £20 bought through the club. Student time. If you're a student, it might be a way you can bag yourself a deal. A lot of clubs are affiliated with their local student union. In fact, producer Jamie, who produces the Fan Finance show, managed to go to Forest for a fiver. £5. Imagine that. Going to see Forest for a fiver. Think it's worth it? Don't forget your student union card. Fan Finance show, Gong of the Week, goes to Liverpool, who are running £9 tickets. How on earth do you get those? Well, this is down to postcodes. If you live in the L area in Liverpool and are signed up to the postcode ballot via the club, they do a draw for each game. And some residents can have tickets for £9, which quite frankly is unbelievable. If you're lucky enough to get the ticket, you go to the match, watch the Premier League and sit in the main stand-upper. I absolutely love this postcode model. Drop us a note in the comments and we'd like to read them out too. Has your club offered cheaper tickets if you live nearby? We'd love to know. So sometimes you just want to go to a Premier League game. You're willing to pay, but you don't want to pay through the roof. The sports package model could be one for you. You want to go to a game and you're willing to fork out, but you don't want to blow the bank. At the same time, you're willing to pay a fair bit to get into the ground. This is where the sports package model can come to fruition. A sports package model essentially is a company who buys a bunch of tickets from the club, guaranteeing those sales. Also, they buy a bunch of tickets at a hotel and they buy a bunch of tickets from the catering companies at the ground. Amalgamate them all together, and what have you got? Well, you've got a night away, potentially with your mate, to go and watch the Premier League. Now, you might think this is going to cost an arm and a leg, but actually, I've just been on Sports Breaks, and Sports Breaks are doing tickets to Villa and some of the other big Premier League games for £250. That includes some drinks before and after the game, a choice of hotel, and of course, access to the game. As long as you don't mind sharing a twin room with your mate, that is. Fan forums, I'm sad. I literally go through Reddit looking for cheap ticket after cheap ticket to the Premier League. I'm a member of most fan forums, and if you get into them, those are the places that will offer tickets for some of the best prices. Of course, you don't necessarily have to have a membership to the club this way. If you're a member of the fan forum, then basically people will sell tickets at a closer price to face value. That means you're not paying the extortionate markups that they have on the big retail sites. Check out your fan forum and see if you can get a cut price deal. If you want to know how your Premier League club compares to others this season, then ticket-compare.com have released a list of the cheapest available Premier League tickets for your club. As always, make sure you check the trust rating on every site you use and only use authorized sellers. Hey, thanks so much for watching the Fan Finance Show from talkSPORT. We want to hear from you. We want to know what the best deals that you have been looking at. Are you like me? Do you stay up all night and look on Reddit trying to find a last-minute deal, even if you've got to get a last-minute train to Newcastle? I want to know. Whack your ideas in the comments. Are you the type of person who knows this amazing site where they don't charge a big markup? Or do you know a box office for your club that has a certain time of day where they always release top deals? Let us know, and we'll see you next time.